Hey everybody, and welcome to today's workout video. It's not going to be a really intense workout, but we're going to be talking about something very important today. We're going to be talking about balance. There's just two things you need for this workout, so I'm going to tell you right away, and then you can hit pause, run and grab these things, and then come back. So just an object. I stole a kid's Christmas pencil. All it is for your eyes to follow something, so just something small that you can hold on to. And then the other thing is, it's just something weighted. So it can be a dumbbell, it can be a kettlebell, or it can just be something weighted in your house, like a jar or whatever. I grabbed this just because it was right here, and just to show you that you can do it with anything. I have a lantern decoration with a candle inside of it. So it doesn't have to be super heavy. I would say that's about 8 pounds. But even if it's something like 3 pounds, you're still gonna get the benefit out of it. It's more about the balance than it is about the weight that it is. So pause, go grab those things, come back when you're ready. Okay, you're back. So we're gonna start our balance. First of all, we'll start with why we're doing balance exercises. So for the most part, when I'm doing training, I'm doing a lot of single leg movements in my training, so I'm practicing balance on a daily basis with my training. But if you're not doing those single leg movements, our balance is one of the first things that we lose. And then once you lose the balance, then you're not able to do a lot of those exercises because you don't have the balance. Balance is something that's super easy to train. It's super easy to maintain just by doing a few of these exercises, even once a week, just to incorporate them into your routine. You will see improvements in your balance if you're doing them, or you may just see that your balance is maintaining rather than declining with each if you're doing them. So we're gonna start off with the easiest exercise that we're gonna do today, and we'll work our way up to the hardest one. So if you get to a point that you're like, I can't do this anymore, I'm gonna fall over, hit stop, come back and try it another day, see if you can improve. Some days our balance is off compared to others too. Even if you have a little bit of a head cold, that can mess with your vestibular senses, and you can end up being a little bit off. I would recommend to have a chair or something nearby that you can grab onto, or even a wall, and you can just have it there, just to even touch, and that will just kind of relocate you if you start to feel wobbly. So the very first thing we're going to do is just exactly what the police do to test sobriety. We're going to do a toe to heel balance beam walk. So I don't actually have a balance beam. What you could do is put a piece of tape on your floor too if you want to be really intense about it, or you can put down a piece of lumber, like a 2x4. But for today, we're just going to practice heel to toe, heel to toe. And even for somebody like me who's balanced, I even feel the little bit of wobblies every once in a while. So we're gonna take about like 4, 5, 6, 7 steps forward, and then we're gonna go backwards. So heel to toe, heel to toe, heel to toe. Good. So when you're practicing these in your daily life or in your weekly routine, I would say to do it a few times through. Just for the sake of speeding today's video up, we're just gonna demonstrate them, and then when you implement them, you can do them longer, or if you just want to hit pause, you can practice through a few of them until you move on to the next one. But for today, we're just going to move on. Now it's time to grab your little object that you found in your house. So this is to train the inner ear. So this is a little bit less about moving this and muscle control. This is just the inner ear. And so it's wild because it looks easy, but it actually almost knocks me over every time. So we're gonna stand in a staggered stance. So heel to toe again, one foot in front of the other. We're gonna do both sides. You might notice one side's better than the other. We're gonna keep our head still, facing forward. Object is right out in front of us. I'm looking at the eraser, and then I'm going to move the eraser to the side, and I'm gonna fall with it without falling over with my eyes, and then I'm gonna bring it back. So this is why I said to have a chair here, because this one is actually pretty tricky. And let's do it one more time without falling over this time maybe. We'll bring it over to the side. Oh, look at that, I got better this time. And back to the center. Good, we're just gonna stay on this foot. We'll do the other side next, but on this foot still, since we're already here, we're gonna go up and down with that object. So hold it out in front of you, bring it up, only my eyes are moving, and then bring it down. So for me, this one is easier. You might find The other one's easier? Okay, that demonstrates that. Let's switch sides so you guys can see how one side is better than the other. Bring it up, we're going side to side first. So bringing it out. And back in. Only moving my eyes. Head is staying still. Awesome. Let's do it one more time because we did 2 times on the other side. So we're going nice and slow here too. I'm not speeding it along. Awesome job, guys. Okay, bring it back to the center and let's go right into those up and downs because we're here anyways. Whoa. And down. And this training, it's so simple, but it can make a huge difference in your balance. And then when you have better balance, you're less prone to injury, you're less prone to falls as we age, and we're more able to do the things that we want to do as we get older. Okay, so that's our vestibular training. A little bit tricky, but super easy to do in your everyday life. Just get a staggered stance and try to follow an object. Okay, we're gonna go into our single leg stuff now. So this is where it's important to just have your wall or your chair close by just in case this is a little bit too hard for you. We're gonna progress the movement. So we're just going to start by foot out front, holding a single leg pose, okay? So you're gonna feel those little muscles in your feet. By the way, do this barefoot because that's when you can feel those little muscles in your toes moving around and stabilizing you. We're gonna take that leg out to the side now. Good, it doesn't have to be far out to the side. Your leg can even be bent a little bit. And then we're gonna take it behind you. Awesome. Good, now we're gonna bring the knee up. And down, good. Let's do the other leg. So, find your balance, foot goes out to the front. You just hold it a few seconds. Let those foot muscles do their job. Out to the side, same thing. Find your balance. To the back. Knee up. And back down. So now we're gonna add a little bit of movement to that. So it's trying to throw the body off a little bit. So we're just gonna go knee up, knee back, knee up, knee back. Do about 10 repetitions or so. 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides. Knee up and back. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're gonna go into airplanes. Again, it's another single leg movement, but it's gonna require us bending forward and coming back up. So sometimes that bending forward can throw the inner ear for a loop, and that's why a lot of people, if they go to bend over, you'll see them stumble. So we wanna practice that bending over on a single leg. There's modifications here. You don't need to kick your leg up as high as I'm going to. You could just take your leg back a little bit. That's totally fine. So arms are gonna go out to the side, legs gonna go behind you, and we're just going to airplane. Good, hold it for 3, 2, 1, and bring it up. Again, you don't have to go as high up as I'm going. Oh, there's the wobbles. 3, 2, 1. So we're holding just for a few seconds at the bottom just to allow that body to wobble and to sort it out. Bring it back down. 3, 2, 1, and bring it up. Let's do 3 times on the other side. So airplane out. So I've got a slight bend in my balancing leg too. I'm not locking my knee. It's not good for your knees to lock them anyways. Bring it down. 2, 1. Let's do 1 more and we'll hold for 5, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. We are almost there, guys. We have our last progression. If you're still hanging in there with me, I really appreciate it. Grab your item or your object that has a little bit of weight to it, and we're gonna do a weight transfer. So we're gonna stand on one leg, and we're gonna pass the weight side to side. And you'll feel that weight transfer wants to knock you over, side to side, and try to bring it all the way out to the side so that you're having to engage that core to hold it up. Let's do one more. Awesome, switch sides. So staggered stance, weight transfer, good. Back to the other side. I'm not doing it too fast here. And you can progress this by just increasing your weight too. So if you start to get really good at this and you're only using, say, 5 pounds, we can start bringing that weight up and using heavier and heavier objects. That is it, guys. That is just some of the many balance exercises that you guys can implement into your weekly routine. Just even practice a couple of times a day, just doing some single foot standing, just some weight shifting side to side. Balance is extremely important if we want to maintain our physical abilities as we age. So I hope you guys stick with it and I hope you enjoyed. See you guys.